My dear, tonight I come to you with a voice tender, yet mightier whisper that holds the power to shatter the invisible bonds that have long held you captive. I see your struggle, the chains wrapped tightly around your heart, your mind and your soul. These chains have been forged in moments of pain, in whispers of doubt, in the silent prisons built by fear and past wounds. You cannot always see me in the depth of your captivity, but I have never left you. I am here, always present, watching as those chains clatter and rattle, with a power outside of your own. There is a movement happening, my child, a breaking, a releasing, that stirs from deep within the fabric of your life. A divine eruption that begins. Now you may have thought these chains were unbreakable, that they were part of your very nature, intertwined into the very essence of your being. But I tell you this, my beloved, no chain made to hold you down is stronger than my love. No shackle crafted by your fears has a future where it can hold you against my will. I have heard your sighs in the night and known your trembling at dawn. I have traced the scars left by those chains on your soul, and I say to you now, the time for freedom is dawn. The fetters forged by guilt, the iron links of shame, the cold bands of loneliness and despair, they are falling away. This is your moment, when the old sorrows dissolve, like morning mist touched by the sun's first rays. I know the battle inside of you, the wrestling of the spirit, the longing for liberation, tangled with the heaviness of doubt. You ask yourself, how can these bonds break? When they have held me so long, how can a future without this pain even exist? I have stood beside you as your tears wet the ground, as your heart whispered cries that only I could hear. You need not prove your worthiness to me, for you are already mine, sealed by a love that transcends all understanding. Now let your spirit rise to a new reality, where those chains lose their grip, where the darkness that once seemed eternal is pierced by my light. Each link that falls is a testament to the power of grace. Moving in your life, it is a declaration of my tender mercies flooding the darkest places of your soul. Imagine the weight lifting the air, becoming clearer, your steps growing lighter. This is more than a dream. This is a breaking forth of truth, a divine decree that your bondage is not your story's end. You are not defined by the failures, the pain or the setbacks that have sought to confine you. You are, and always have been, a beacon of my resilience and unfailing beauty. When you feel the first crack in the chains, do not turn away in disbelief or fear. Step boldly into the sunlight of this new freedom. Let this truth settle in you. The chains are breaking now. This is more than an event. It is a revolution within your soul. It is the stirring of hope, sparked by a love that cannot be extinguished. I am removing the weight that once pressed heavy on your chest, unveiling the strength I have invested in you all along. The freedom I offer is a sacred gift, not earned by your acts, but freely given by the depth of my compassion. When you encounter that fresh breeze, that uplifting lift in your spirit, receive it. Embrace the sound of chains snapping as the soundtrack of your resurrection, as the shadows retreat. I'm drawing you into a new rhythm. It may come with tremors for freeing. A soul is never a quiet affair. But my child, in the midst of the shaking, I am your stronghold, your unshakable refuge. You can depend on me to remain constant. Not a wobbly hope, but a foundation carved into eternity. This breaking is not just symbolic, it is transformational. It will ripple across your heart, your mind, and your very essence. It is a sacred unfastening design to propel you to the hopes and dreams I have set before you. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Lean into the sound of these chains breaking. Listen carefully, because this is not a solitary moment, but the opening call of a new chapter written for you. You are moving from captivity to freedom, from silence to voice, from despair to joy. This is the work of divine hands, mighty and tender, breaking every chain that has kept you bound. Welcome the truth that you are no longer held captive, but liberated, loved, and set apart for a purpose radiant and unfathomable. My dear child, do not underestimate the power of what is unfolding. This breaking is meant to transform you beyond what you imagine. I am calling you forward into a life where those chains are but distant memories, and your spirit soars with renewed vigor. Stand firm in this moment, knowing that every chain that smashes to pieces brings you closer to the freedom I intended. From the beginning, you are the beloved creation, the one I fashioned with care, and now you will walk unbound in the fullness of my love. So now I ask you to pause, breathe deeply into this moment, and receive the truth from my heart. Chains are breaking. Now, this is no accident. This is my gift to you. Will you step into this freedom and believe that you are worthy of it? Will you trust the breaking process, even when it shakes you to your core? I am with you. Step forward into the light, where chains cannot follow you anymore. Let your spirit rise and know that this is your divine release. Let that thought echo within you. Let it transform despair into hope and hold tightly to this truth. Your freedom is being secured right now by a love that will never fail. Let this truth settle deeply within your soul, so that no shadow of doubt can dim what I have begun. I'm making a way where there was no way, breaking every chain to set you free. Do not look back, beloved. The chains are breaking now. My dear child, I see the weight that presses upon your heart, the quiet burden that no one else seems to notice, the invisible ache that shadows your every step. It's as if you carry a hidden storm within a tempest of worry, regret, or loneliness that threatens to flood your soul. Yet even in your most silent moments, I am there, a steady presence, a refuge beneath your weary spirit. I am not distant nor indifferent. I listen to the murmurs of your heart, the sighs that escape when you believe no one is near, and I hold you close in the shelter of my unwavering love. There is a sacred patience woven into my being, a stillness that does not rush or reject the struggles you face in the depths of your pain. When the nights feel endlessly long and the silence deafening, know that my timing is perfect, my understanding limitless. I do not demand immediate healing or quick answers, because I see the full tapestry of your life unfolding. Not just the moments of hurt, but the intricate beauty that emerges when you surrender your burdens to me. I'm the gardener, tending the fragile seeds of hope within you, tending the soil with tenderness, anticipating the day they will bloom into strength and joy. Yet I also know how tempting it can be to turn away from this truth, to seek comfort in distractions or to drown in despair. The world offers fleeting remedies that fail to soothe your soul. But my love is a river that never runs dry, a flame that never dims even when you stumble or falter. My arms remain open, inviting you back to the path of peace I have prepared. I am not waiting to chastise, but longing to heal. The grace I extend to you is not earned by your perfection, but freely given, flooding your life with light, even through the darkest valleys. Remember, my child, that this moment of struggle is not the conclusion of your story. It is a chapter within the grand narrative of redemption and restoration. I am writing for you with hands of love, even when you cannot see the way forward. I am faithfully weaving threads of purpose and joy into the fabric of your existence. What feels broken in you is precious in my eyes, for I transform ruins into sanctuaries, ashes into gardens of new beginnings. Trust, even in your uncertainty, that I am at work, in the unseen, birthing hope. Where despair once held sway, do not be afraid to bring your whole self to me. The fragments of fear, the moments of doubt, the weary sighs that escape at midnight. I embrace the entirety of your being without reservation. Your pain is not a barrier to my love. It is a conduit through which my compassion flows more deeply. Let yourself rest in this truth. You are never alone, never forgotten, always cherished. My presence is your fortress, steadfast and sure, even when the world seems to crumble around you. If your heart is stirring amidst the struggle, do not turn away. Come to me with your doubts and questions, knowing I will meet you there, patient, kind, and ready to carry you close. Let this sacred intimacy be your refuge, a place where tears are met with tenderness and fears are embraced with hope together. We will navigate the wilderness of your soul, and I will be your guide and your strength. Open your heart to the healing that is waiting for you. Allow the gentle rains of my mercy to wash over every hurt, every wound, until what once seemed unbearable becomes the soil for new growth. I am with you in every breath, every heartbeat, every quiet moment. When you feel lost, let this truth settle in you. And may you find comfort in my eternal embrace, knowing that beyond every struggle lies my steadfast love, ready to restore and renew my dear child. I see the weight that presses down upon your spirit, the heavy cloak of guilt and shame that you wear as if it were part of your very soul. You have traversed paths shadowed by regret, thinking that your missteps have carved a permanent scar upon your identity, believing that you are defined by the failures that you cannot erase yet. Beloved, I speak to the secret places of your heart to unravel these chains. I am not the God who measures your worth by the mistakes you carry, but the one who delights in removing the burdens from your chest and healing the deepest wounds that your soul has borne in silence. Consider the dawn after the darkest night, how it does not cower behind the memories of the shadows, but breaks forth with brilliance anew. Your standing is not established by the stumbles along the way, but by the grace I pour out to raise you from the depths. The ache of guilt is a forest where you have wandered lost and unsure, believing there is no exit yet. See, my dear, I am the light that parts the dense foliage, the gentle guide whispering the path forward. My forgiveness is not a fleeting balm, but a river running deep and wide, cleansing every part of you that sorrow has stained you. Must not mistake your failings for the sum of your being. They are but chapters in the story of your redemption. My forgiveness is not contingent on your perfection. For indeed perfection was never your condition to meet me. It is given freely, a gift wrapped in my everlasting love. Let this truth root itself firmly in you. No lapse, no failure, no error is a lock upon your fate. That I cannot undo the glass of your soul may be cracked, but it is never shattered beyond repair. In my eyes there's often a quiet voice within a murmur of condemnation you hear repeatedly accusing and reminding you of every misstep. Yet, I'm saying to you now, stop listening to those whispers, my beloved, for I will speak a louder word over you, the assurance of release, the invitation to come clean and be made whole. It may be frightening to believe that you are fully accepted, yet I ask that you lean into this reality, dare to accept my forgiveness as a new garment given for you to wear, instead of the heavy rags of shame my patience endures endlessly over you. There is no need to rush the healing that takes place inside. I am molding you with deliberate care, for even the most shattered potter's vessel can be restored to beauty and purpose. This transformation is not instantaneous, but it is sure. Do not scorn the progress you make, no matter how small, for every step toward me draws you further away from the grip of guilt's torment. I want you to understand that forgiveness is not merely a casual pardon, but a restoration of relationship that crafts a new foundation for your future. It is the slow healing of wounds that you thought irreparable, a weaving together of the broken pieces into a tapestry more glorious than before. Do not underestimate the power of my forgiveness to change the story. You tell yourself that story will no longer be one of endless failure, but of resilience. Born from grace, there is a sacred dignity laid upon you even now as you hear these words. I do not condemn or disqualify. I call you my child, redeemed beyond measure. Though you may feel distant or unworthy, I have never stopped pursuing you. My gaze is fixed tenderly upon your heart, longing to transform your sorrow into joy and your shame into strength. If your soul has been battered by regret, take this moment to release the burden to me. Place your hand in mine and allow my forgiveness to flow through your veins, renewing and revitalizing your entire being. Will you believe that you can rise above your past, not by your might, but by the power of my redeeming love? Let this truth settle deeply in you and recognize that your value is immeasurable in my sight, restored and glorious in my presence. Let me speak peace over you that surpasses every accusation, comforting you in your moments of doubt and quiet despair. Hear the soft voice that says, your forgiveness is complete and healing is at hand. Do not reject this promise, but fold it close to your heart as a sacred treasure. My forgiveness is a refuge, a sanctuary, where no guilt can reach you and no shame can reside. I am the God who wipes away every tear, who sees beyond your regrets to the holy creation. I am fashioning my love, erases the marks of shame, and paints your soul with colors of grace and mercy. Trust in this unfailing love, my dear, and embrace the freedom that forgiveness brings. Step forward into the dawn of a new existence, clothed not in condemnation, but in the brightness of my mercy. Know that you are set apart and cherished beyond reckoning. No past mistake diminishes my esteem for you. I have written your name upon the palms of my hands, and in my eyes you are wholly redeemed and eternally beloved. Remember, my forgiveness is not a one-time surrender of blame, but an unending oath to hold you safe and heal you forever. Will you open your heart to this healing? Will you receive my forgiveness, not as a distant hope, but as a present reality? I am offering you the chance to lay down these heavy stones of guilt and shame that you have carried so long. Walk with me now into the lightness of restored grace, and find your spirit renewed this day. My child, you are not defined by the shadows of your past, but by the boundless depths of my mercy. Embrace this transformative love and let it flood your soul until no regret can claim you. Let the beauty of my forgiveness be the foundation upon which you build your life, with hope rising like a fountain from within, pouring forth. With each new breath, you are forgiven, my beloved, completely and without reservation. Let this truth settle in you, planting seeds of liberty and joy that no darkness can overcome, my dear child. I know the heavy weight of guilt and shame that can often press upon your soul, making it hard to breathe, to think, to hope. These feelings come like shadows that creep into the corners of your heart, reminding you of past mistakes, moments you wish you could erase, words you wish you hadn't spoken, paths you wished you hadn't taken. Yet, I want you to hear me clearly today. You are not defined by the failures that haunt you. I see beyond every misstep. I see the precious heart within the spirit. Yearning for grace and renewal. Guilt and shame are powerful forces. Yes, but they are not chains meant to keep you bound forever. Instead, they serve as a mirror, reflecting your awareness of what is not aligned with my heart. They are an invitation, an opportunity extended to you by love itself to turn again toward me. Understand that when these feelings rise, they are not to condemn you, but to call you back to the embrace, waiting with open arms. Imagine a father welcoming a prodigal child home, never distant, never disinterested, but deeply longing for reunion, Despite the distance and brokenness, have you felt accused by your own thoughts? That quiet voice in your mind that repeats your faults, that replays your failures like a merciless record. Remember, my beloved, I am not that accusing voice. I am the voice that whispers forgiveness and promises restoration. When your thoughts grow dark and heavy with burdens you were never meant to carry alone, lean into my presence. I carry those burdens with you. Let my peace flow into the spaces where guilt rests, covering it with a mantle of mercy and grace you could never earn, but are freely given. There is a profound freedom in forgiveness, not the kind that glosses over wrongs, but the deep reconciliation that transforms the heart. Imagine a vineyard at harvest, where each vine is carefully tended and pruned. Sometimes the pruning hurts, but it is necessary for new growth, for fruitfulness to come forth. My forgiveness is like that. It does not ignore what was broken. It reaches into the wounds and heals them, reshaping you into something more beautiful and whole than before. This process is never hurried or shallow. It is patient, tender, and intentional. Do not be afraid to bring your shame before me. Do not try to hide it under layers of denial, distraction, or self-condemnation. Bring it openly. My grace is more abundant than the deepest well of regret, more powerful than the fiercest tidal wave of shame. When you place these burdens in my hands, you will find they lose their grip on you. You will begin to walk differently, no longer weighed down by what was, but uplifted by the promise of what can be. I am a God who forgives endlessly, who forgets the offenses upon the heart's altar. This is not because I overlook sin or pain, but because my love is great enough to cover all wrongdoing and restore your soul's dignity. It is my desire to transform your guilt into gratitude, your shame into boldness, rooted in love. Know this, no mistake surpasses the power of my redeeming love. No failure can separate you from my affectionate gaze. Look at yourself through my eyes. See the child I delight in, the beloved whom I chose before time began. Your worth is anchored, not in what you have done, but in who you are to me. A precious vessel, crafted with care, filled with my spirit, and called to live in freedom and joy. When guilt tries to steal that vision, stand firm in the truth of your identity. You are forgiven, loved beyond measure, and commissioned to walk in the fullness of the grace I pour out. Sometimes the journey to release guilt and shame feels slow, like trudging through a dense forest, where the light struggles to reach the ground. But every step taken toward me is met with encouragement. Every tear you cry is known and cherished, even in moments when repentance feels like a faint whisper. I am listening, swept up in your desire for a cleaned and renewed heart. My patience with you is endless, my presence unyielding. Let this truth settle in you. I also want to remind you that forgiveness extends beyond your relationship with me. Holding on to bitterness or unforgiveness towards yourself or others only feeds the cycle of shame and guilt. Practice the grace I have lavished on you by granting it to those around you and even to yourself. This is no small task, for it requires strength and surrender. But as you do, you will find chains breaking and hearts healing, beginning with your own. Let me invite you deeper. Now send your honesty and vulnerability to me as a fragrant or offering. Confess what needs to be brought from darkness into light in this sacred space. My love will meet you fully, not to shame but to restore, not to judge but to heal. You are never beyond the reach of my compassion. No matter the depth of your wounds, will you believe me this time, child? When my voice calls out to your inner being, proclaiming freedom from guilt and shame's prison. When I extend my hand, beckoning you up from the dust of regret into the brightness of forgiveness. Move toward me knowing that my arms are ready to unfold you with a peace that defies understanding. This is the place where restoration begins, where the heart finds its true rest. The road may twist sometimes, but with every step taken in trust, your soul is renewed. Your past remains part of your story. Yes, but no longer the defining chapter. I am writing a new narrative upon your heart, a story of redemption, hope, and unfailing love. Hold tight to this truth and let it nourish your spirit daily as you reflect on this. Remember always that my forgiveness is a gift held out to you generously. Receive it, cherish it. Let it transform you from the inside out. There is no shadow too deep, no pain too great that my forgiveness cannot illuminate and heal. Let your heart be open now. Let go of the shackles of guilt that confine you. Let the sweet balm of my mercy soothe every ache of regret. You are mine forever and always. My forgiveness is your true home, your shelter, your strength. This is the place where you are truly free. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Come to me with all that you are, and let my forgiveness become the foundation upon which you build a new life, rich with grace and unshakable hope. My dear, I understand the heaviness that anxiety and fear bring to your heart. These are like shadows that stretch long across the landscape of your soul, distorting the brightness I have woven into your very being. When the winds of worry howl and the storm clouds of doubt gather, it is easy to feel that you stand alone amid chaos, rooted on uncertain ground. Yet I want you to hear this deeply. Fear does not have final dominion over you, not because you are without weakness, but because I have wrapped you in a shelter. No storm can penetrate anxiety, often cloaks itself as a relentless whisper, urging you to question your worth, your strength, and your future. It presses so firmly into your spirit that you may find yourself gasping for breath, caught in a tightening grip that seems to have no end yet. My dear child, I am the calm in your tempest, the quiet eye of a hurricane that surrounds you, but does not touch your core. When your heart races with uncertainty, know that I am there, breathing peace into the chaos. I'm your refuge and your fortress, and in my presence, your soul finds rest, even as the world spins uncontrollably. Remember the moments when you have felt consumed by fear, times when doubt clouded your vision and made the road ahead indistinct. I was there then, too gently whispering truth into the noise. I see your struggle. I do not dismiss the trembling of your spirit, but I invite you now to surrender those burdens to my care. Lay down the weight of what-ifs and maybes, and lean into the assurance that my love is more powerful than any fear that stalks your mind. There is a divine pattern to the seasons of your anxiety. Like the ebb and flow of tides under the moon's gentle pull, these feelings will rise and recede. I do not expect you to be fearless all at once, nor do I condemn you for your moments of vulnerability. My strength is made perfect in your weakness, and as you entrust me with your fears, I infuse your spirit with courage. Trust is the bridge over the chasm of despair. It is the quiet refusal to allow your heart to be enslaved by shadows through trust. The burdensome clouds part to reveal my unfailing light. My child, I call you to a sacred surrender. Not a defeat, but a brave act of letting go. Surrender your grip on control to me, the one who holds the heavens in his hands. When you feel overwhelmed, speak truth to your soul. God is my refuge. I will not be afraid. Feel my presence surrounding you like a garment woven with peace and steadfast love. Let this truth settle in you deeply. You are not abandoned in your fear. Every anxious thought can be transformed by the gentle power of my unfailing love. Your emotions are not enemies, but messengers, often signaling that you need to lean deeper into me when anxiety speaks loudest. It's an invitation to draw nearer, to anchor your heart. In the unchanging nature of my presence, I am the unwavering light in your darkness, the steady hand guiding you through uncertainty, even when you feel lost in tangled webs of doubt. I'm the pathfinder, making ways where no ways seem visible. I'm here, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid to bring your fears to me without reservation. Tell me everything that troubles your heart. Pour out your worries like ashes onto my altar, and watch how I transform them into a breath of hope and renewal. I am patient with your journey, never rushing, never condemning, but diligently working in every moment to draw you closer into my peace. Fear and anxiety cannot live where my truth is planted firmly, as you fix your eyes on me and breathe in my promise. Chains of worry begin to dissolve. Imagine your heart as a garden where fear once grew like invasive weeds. My love is the sunlight that nurtures new life, the gentle rain that cleanses the gardener's hands, pulling away what harms, leaving space for joy, faith and courage to bloom. This garden is real, child. It is the sacred space within you where I dwell and pour out tranquility. Let your soul accept this invitation. Release the heavy weights of anxiety into my hands. Embrace the sacred quiet that follows surrender. Know that even when your mind tries to wander into dark places, I'm the light that calls you back. Your life is a precious tapestry, intricately woven with purpose and hope. Fear does not define you. My love does. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away from this moment of refuge. Lean into me, the Prince of Peace, and allow my spirit to calm the restless seas inside your soul together. We can brave any storm that threatens, for my power is made perfect in your peace. Will you rest in my love today, trusting that I am greater than your fears? Will you let me quiet the noise within, so you can walk forward with courage step by step, knowing my hand holds yours? The journey is not easy, but you never walk it alone. Take this moment to breathe deeply and let my peace flood into every anxious corner. Feel the assurance that springs forth from my heart to yours. This is not the end of your story. It is a divine turning point towards healing and trust. These moments of surrender are sacred, marking the unfolding of a new chapter filled with hope. Let your spirit rise from the ashes of doubt, like a radiant dawn bathed in the light of my promises. I am here, holding you near, ready to carry you. If you let me embrace this truth, there is power in surrender, strength in vulnerability, and undying love, carrying you through every fearful night. You are my beloved, and I take delight in your courage to trust. Walk with me, now heart open and steady, into the peace that no fear can destroy, my dear. In the depths of your heart, I see the restless stirring of doubt and fear, shadows that creep upon your spirit as twilight falls. This is not foreign to me, because even in the moments before the dawn, when the night is darkest and silence thicker than the weight of the world, I am with you. Your fears are like winds that howl through the branches of an ancient tree. They shake your confidence and threaten to uproot your peace. But remember, those branches bend because of the wind, yet do not break unless they lose their root. So too is your soul anchored to me, and through that root every storm is faced and endured. Fear, dear child, is the echo of a heart uncertain about the future, a trembling over what cannot be seen, what lies beyond the horizon of your understanding. Anxiety, like a heavy cloak, might settle around your shoulders, suffocating your joy and clouding your mind. But hear me now. This cloak is not woven by my hand. It is produced by the clamor of the world, by shadows of what might be, instead of the reality of what is. I call you to lay down this heavy garment at my feet, where it is gently unwound and melted away by my peace that surpasses all human reasoning. You may look at your circumstances, a relentless wave, a relentless tide, and wonder if my love falters, if my promises crumble, if I'm invisible to your plight. But my beloved, I am the steady lighthouse shining through the fog. Though the storm rages, my presence is a beacon fixed constant, unfaltering my spirit. Whispers with a firmness that softens. Be still and know I am here. There is no moment when I am absent. No hidden corner where my gaze doesn't fall. I carry you not by chance, but by choice, not out of obligation, but great desire. You live within my heart. Your fears are addressed, not dismissed. Beloved, surrender to this truth. Your fear is not final. Do not let it define your days or enslave your nights in the wrestling match between trust and trepidation. Choose trust as your steadfast ally. Trust is not the ignorance of danger, but the confident embrace that no matter what comes, your steps are ordered by my unfailing hand. When doubt creeps in, imagine the arms of the shepherd wrapping around you, drawing you close, holding you tightly until the shaking subsides and your breath returns to calm. In that embrace, you will find courage renewed and an unshakable peace. I'm aware that the vast silence of waiting can sound like abandonment, and the empty spaces in your soul cry out for answers. Yet in those very silences, I am working, shaping, refining, preparing. Like a potter with clay, I need you through seasons of waiting, so that the vessel of your life holds more of my glory. Doubt and anxiety are but cracks through which my light shines brightest when you feel lowest. Consider that my grace finds you most tenderly there, where your heart is most open, most yielded. Do not berate yourself for the wavering heart. Rather, bring these feelings to me as a fragrant offering. The very act of coming to me in your weakness is itself a surrender that pleases me. Tell me your fears, your worries, your unknowns. Pour out your doubts as a child confides in a parent who loves unconditionally. Here in this sacred dialogue, your fearful shadows lose their darkness and become illuminated by my presence. Let this communion restore your soul and kindle the flame of hope. Once again, now imagine placing each troubling thought into my hand, one by one, believing that I will carry them far beyond your sight and grasp. Feel the burden lifting your spirit, sinking into a rest that is not found in the cessation of trials, but in the assurance of my lordship over all things. The storms do not dictate your destination. I hold the compass and the map, and your hand. Together, we will journey through uncertainty into the fullness of peace, my dear. Will you lean into me now? Will you let my peace, with its gentle strength, calm your racing heart when fears threaten to overtake you again? Return to this place, the stillness of my love. You do not walk alone. You never have the light that scatters your fear. Is always just a gaze away. Let this truth settle in you, anchor your soul, and quiet the tempest with every breath. Remember, I am here unwavering, steadfast, the refuge into which you always may run. Trust me, beloved. Your fears are not the end, but the beginning of a deeper faith, a trust forged in the fire, yet unconsumed by it. Come rest now in my peace and allow me to be your strength. Your trembling heart will find courage in me, and in that courage, freedom. Let your faith rise like the dawn, banishing the night. Take this hand of mine and walk forth with a calm spirit and a sure step. Will you believe me this time, my beloved, in the silent depths of your heart? I see the tremors of fear and anxiety wrestling within you, like shadows that stretch long and distorted at dusk. These feelings try to overwhelm your peace and cloud the clarity I desire for you. I know the nights when your thoughts race as if chased by invisible pursuers, your mind unraveling in a storm of uncertainties and doubts. Yet I assure you, these are neither strangers to the journey nor signs of your failure. They are rather invitations to deeper trust, doorways to surrendering your frailty into my unfailing strength. Picture yourself standing on a rugged shore, waves pounding relentlessly, relentless like the fears that buffet your soul. Each wave represents a different worry about the future, your worth, the unknown path ahead. Yet beneath those stormy waters lies a vast and steady depth, untouched by the turmoil above. That depth is where I dwell unshaken and sovereign. Though the waves may terrify you, I hold your feet firmly on the rock beneath. I do not promise to silence every rush of fear immediately, but I promise to walk with you through every tempest. Will you place your trembling hand in mine, and let me anchor you where fear cannot reach? Stretch your mind beyond the fleeting sensations of anxiety and trace back to the times your fear dissolved in the warmth of my presence. Remember the way the first light dispels the thickest fog, how dawn teases away shadows with relentless patience. Your fears, though fierce and loud, are never more powerful than my love sustaining you. I am the unchanging truth hidden beneath your restless thoughts, the stillness behind the noise. When anxiety creeps in like a thief in the night, call upon me with the simple trust of a child reaching for their parent's hand in the dark. I am waiting to catch you, to whisper peace where your soul feels shattered. Doubt is a subtle companion to fear. It often whispers lies about your value, your path, your future. It questions my promises, your belonging, your identity. But my dear child, my truth is a fortress, a beacon that does not flicker or fade. Doubt tries to camouflage itself in reason and logic, but it cannot extinguish the divine light I planted within you. From the moment I breathed life into your soul, though you cannot always see me nor understand my workings, my presence is as certain as the sunrise. Trust is the bridge that carries you beyond the fog of uncertainty into clear vision. Will you take step after step, leaning not on your own understanding, but on the promise that I am with you always, within your anxiety and doubt? I am crafting a resolve deeper than any fear can challenge. These feelings are not the enemy. They are signposts pointing toward a deeper reliance on me. Like gold refined through fire, your trust grows purer when it is tested. I'm not distant when you tremble. I am closer still. Lean into the vibration of my heartbeat, resonating alongside your own feel. The rhythm of my heartbeat as a sacred lullaby that soothes and steadies you when the world feels too loud. Let my rhythm become your refuge, a sanctuary where fear dares not enter. Can you feel this invitation now to rest even amid the chaos in my unshakable presence? Consider this: your anxiety is not a sign of weakness, but a doorway to authentic faith that does not require perfect conditions, but embraces uncertainty with a courageous heart. To believe when the path is obscured is greater than to believe in clear daylight. The deepest faith arises like a seed planted in rocky soil, pushed through by a relentless will to live. Despite the odds, your heart is that seed, beloved. I'm the gardener who nurtures you. I water your spirit with living hope, and I wait patiently for your roots to deepen in me. Will you allow me to tend your soul, to shield it from the storms that you may grow? Unshakable fear also calls you into a sacred space where humility and dependence become a beautiful offering. It strips away your need to control or understand fully and invites surrender, not as defeat, but as strength found through yielding. When you surrender your fear to me, you acknowledge my sovereignty, my power to hold your tomorrow, your today, and your past. This act of surrender is a sacred exchange, your burdens laid down for a peace that transcends all human understanding. My child, the yoke I give is easy, and my burden is light. Can you even now lay your fears in my hands and rest in that gentle exchange? Sometimes your anxiety may feel like a relentless tide ebbing and flowing with no mercy in those moments. Remember that my spirit dwells within you, a divine presence that cannot be shaken by fears, external or internal. I am your living wellspring, a fountain of peace and courage, bubbling up from within. Your soul's deep thirst for security and assurance finds quenching in me alone. When you drink from my presence, your fears lose their grip and your joy surges forward like a powerful river breaking through dams of doubt. My beloved, drink deeply from this well. Today, let this truth settle in you. You are never alone. Your fears are known, but your courage has already been planted by me. I call you now to an intimacy forged in the furnace of anxiety and fear, an intimacy that grows as you turn your face toward me, lifting your eyes above the storm. There is nothing hidden that I do not cherish. Every trembling thought, every restless beat of your heart is held tenderly in my hand. I am your refuge and your fortress, a safe place where your soul is named and beloved. Step into this truth. Let your heart open, like the dawn breaks over a darkened land. Will you receive my peace now? Peace that like a river flows into every crack of your weariness and fills you until you overflow with hope. Do not resist the feelings that arise, but bring them to me as a precious offering. I am not startled by your fears. Rather, I receive them with compassion and wisdom beyond all human measure. Your vulnerability is a doorway through which my grace flows freely. Each anxious thought is a whispered prayer in disguise when offered to me with faith. Let us walk together through this valley of shadow, knowing that I am the light who never fades. The path ahead is brightened by my presence, even if you can scarcely glimpse it now. Trust me, trust us, my beloved. Will you draw near and rest in my unwavering love? Today, my dear child, I see the tempest raging within your heart, the silent storms of doubt and anxiety that threaten to consume your peace. It's in these quiet battles you struggle to hear my voice, obscured as it may seem by the clamor of your fears. Know that your unrest is not hidden from me. I have walked through the valleys of uncertainty alongside you, feeling the weight of your breaths as you wrestle with shadows unseen by others. This is not the place of abandonment, but a fertile ground for trust to take root. Deeper and stronger than before, anxiety is a relentless foe that whispers lies and paints worst-case scenarios in vivid colors. It magnifies every crack and flaw, convincing you that you are alone on a desolate island surrounded by endless waves. But my child, from the highest heavens, I look upon you with steadfast love and unshakable assurance that you are held in the hollow of my hand, sovereign and secure. The storm you feel inside is not a punishment or a sign of failure, but a proving ground for faith. A place I have destined to cultivate a fierce reliance upon me, that no fear can ever undo. Consider the lilies of the field, how they neither worry nor toil, yet are clothed in splendor beyond human skill. If the earth itself receives my care with such abundance, how much more do I cherish you? This care is not passive, it is active, intentional, and unending. When doubt creeps in, let your spirit lean into the quiet assurance that I am weaving all things into a tapestry where every thread, no matter how dark or bright, contributes to a masterpiece of grace and purpose waiting to be revealed. Are you weary from shouldering burdens that were never meant to rest solely on your shoulders? Surrender them to me, child, for my yoke is easy and my burden light in your surrender. There is strength, an unexplainable peace that surpasses understanding. This peace does not come from circumstances aligning, but from the unmovable truth of my presence abiding within you. I'm your refuge, your fortress, and the anchor in the storm that keeps you from drifting into despair, look not at the turmoil swirling around you, for it is fleeting, like a fleeting shadow, swept away by the morning sun. Fix your eyes on me, the author and finisher of your hope. When doubt tries to tighten its grip, remember every moment I have been faithful, guiding your steps, whispering truth, breathing life into your spirit. I have never left you. I do not now, and I never will, even when your heart races with fear. My everlasting arms are wrapped securely around you. The silence you sometimes experience is not void of me, but filled with my presence, waiting for your trust to grow beyond what you can see or understand. I am patient, waiting for you to release control and meet me in stillness, where real transformation begins in these sacred pauses. I refine you, mold your faith, and prepare you for the abundant life I have promised. Each wave of anxiety is an invitation to step deeper into my embrace, where fear loses its power and love casts out. Every shadow speak to me your hidden fears, even those too small or dark to voice aloud. I am the only one who sees the depths of your soul and loves you still, not for what you do or what you overcome, but simply because you are mine. My love is not conditional on your performance, but rooted in my eternal character. No mistake, worry or failure can extinguish the light I have placed within you. You are precious beyond measure, held tightly in the arms of one who adores you infinitely. Be intentional in anchoring your heart to the truth that you do not walk this journey alone. Reach out when the path seems unclear. Lean into the community and my people who are meant to be vessels of my peace and reminders of my unwavering presence. Share your burdens. They were never meant to be carried in isolation, in vulnerability. You invite healing and strength, creating space for my power to move freely within you. My beloved, each struggle with fear and anxiety is not a sign of weakness, but a battlefield for the warrior of faith. I am cultivating inside you. Will you choose to believe in my sovereignty? Over every circumstance, will you rest in my promise to never leave you in darkness? Your heart is the sanctuary where my spirit dwells, bringing light to every corner shadowed by doubt. Let this truth settle deeply within you. To trust me is to be anchored immovably amidst every storm. Now pause and breathe within in here. Let my presence fill the spaces where fear once lived. Remember that the same power that calmed the seas dances upon the waters of your soul, transforming turmoil into stillness. This is more than a hope. It's a reality awaiting your embrace. Will you hold fast to me, child? Will you step beyond the anxiety and into the freedom that comes from resting in my care? Your heart is precious, and I am here, always here for you, my dear. Amidst the labyrinth of your uncertainties and the silent echoes of your unresolved questions, know this. I am always closer than the whisper of your own breath. When the night of doubt falls heavy upon your heart, when shadows seem to crowd in from every side, promising fear and confusion, I am the steady light that does not flicker or fail. You may feel lost, unseen, as though wandering through a vast expanse with no guide, but I have never, not for a single moment, released my hold on you. My presence surrounds you, like the air you breathe, intangible, yet essential, constant, and life-giving. Let me speak now of feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen. For these are wounds I know intimately, as I have walked through every valley with you, even when the world forgets your name or turns away in harsh judgment. I see you with eyes full of infinite compassion and tenderness. When the voices around you echo with rejection or doubt, hear mine above all, calling you into the warmth of my embrace. You are not invisible to me. Your heart's cries, even those whispered in silence and shame, are music to my ears, far beyond the judgments of men. I pour out a love so deep and wide that there is no place you can go that is beyond my reach. Sometimes the feeling of abandonment is not what I have caused, but what requires your faith to overcome. The silence you endure is not my absence, but my sacred pause and invitation for trust when time's certainty is obscured by waiting in these moments. I am weaving unseen threads of restoration and purpose through your pain, though you don't perceive it now. The tapestry of your life is approaching a revelation of my glory and goodness, designed precisely because you trusted even when you tremblingly hoped. You're being prepared for a strength that only those who have walked through wilderness can carry. Remember, beloved, that your feelings of invisibility are the very moments when I am most deeply present. You may feel insignificant, but to me, you are a masterpiece crafted with infinite care. Each tear shed in solitude is precious and noted in my heart. My eyes are upon you continually. Not to condemn, but to nurture and uplift your pain is not wasted. It is the fertile soil where I plant seeds of new life and joy. You may not see it blossoming yet, but in the hidden places where your spirit rests, I am at work shaping hope from ashes. I will highlight the intimate paradox of feeling unseen, and yet being infinitely known by me. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, my dear child, fully known, down to the secret hopes you dare not speak aloud. Nothing about you escapes my notice, not even the fears you cast aside in the daylight to bear your burdens alone. There is no shadow within you that I have not traversed, no corner of your soul that remains unfamiliar to my eyes. Of love, the loneliness you wrestle with will give way to an abiding fellowship with me, a communion so deep that your heart will feel the warmth of my presence, even on the coldest nights. Still, you may wonder why you must feel so lost or unseen. It is often in the crucible of loss and invisibility that your identity is purified and made radiant, just as the diamond's brilliance is revealed only when pressures shape it beneath the earth. So too does your true self shine forth when I allow seasons of solitude and testing. Your value is not determined by the approval of any human, but by the measureless love I poured into your creation. Walk with me in this truth, even when the world turns away, and let this unwavering truth settle deep within you. You belong to me, a cherished child of the Most High in this place of seeming abandonment. I also call you to release the burdens that have weighed your heart down. The feelings of worthlessness, invisibility, and forgetfulness. Come to me with all your weariness and receive my rest. It is not in striving harder or seeking human validation that you find your worth. It is in surrendering to my love and knowing that you are fully accepted just as you are. There's a peace that surpasses human understanding, a healing balm for your soul's ache, waiting for you at my feet. Let me be your refuge and strength, especially when you feel most vulnerable and unseen. My child, will you entrust your heart to me once more, allowing yourself to be known, loved, and held in my presence, even when your own vision fails and doubt clouds your path? Know that I am your constant, unmovable foundation. My faithfulness does not waver because yours might falter. You are never truly lost when you are found in me. You are never abandoned when I hold you close. You are never unseen when my eyes are upon you with everlasting love. If your soul longs for assurance and belonging, lean into this promise now. In the stillness of your heart, invite my presence to illuminate the darkness that has seemed so overwhelming. Feel my hand reach out, not in condemnation, but an invitation to walk with me through every shadow, every fear, every moment you have felt forsaken. I will carry you when your strength fades and whisper peace into the chaos of your mind. Trust me to restore the hidden parts of your spirit and to show you beauty where you only saw brokenness. Let this knowing settle deep within you and become a wellspring of hope and courage. You are deeply loved, eternally seen, and divinely cherished. Your journey, though fraught with pain at times, is cradled in my unwavering compassion and sovereignty. Hold fast to my promise. You belong to me now and forever. Will you listen for my voice amid the noise? Will you feel the gentle comfort I offer and embrace the truth that you are never, ever alone? Let this truth fill your heart and guide your steps. Come, my beloved, rest in my presence, and know that I see you, I love you, and I will never let go, my dear. As you have journeyed through the depths of your soul and embraced the truths I have whispered to you, know this: you are wholly mine, intricately woven and eternally cherished. The complexities of your heart, its shadows and its light, are not hidden from me. I have crafted every sigh, every tear, every longing within you with infinite care. I call you not just by name, but by your destiny, your purpose blooming like a flower, nurtured into the sunlight of my presence. You are not distant or forgotten. You reside in the sacred fold of my love, where nothing can sever the bond we share when the weight of the world presses heavily upon you, and the voices of doubt seek to drown my promises. I am there, not as a distant observer, but as the refuge that holds you tenderly in my arms. The storms of confusion, the whisperings of fear, the ache of loneliness. All these, my child, are met with my unwavering embrace. I am the source of your strength. When you feel weary, the healing balm for your brokenness, and the light that illuminates the path when shadows gather. I am your steady anchor amidst relentless waves, and my love does not waver. Remember, beloved, you are not defined by your failures, your burdens, or the silence that you sometimes perceive as abandonment. These moments are but veils, lifted slowly to reveal the greater plan I have woven in the fabric of your life. Trust that my timing is perfect. Each delay crafted with divine intention, preparing the soil of your spirit for abundant growth. Your heart is the garden. I am the gardener, with patient hands, cultivating paths to joy, peace, and eternal fulfillment when you feel lost. Look to me, the compass that never misleads. In the tapestry of your existence, I have sewn threads of purpose and calling that extend beyond what the eye can see. You are a light holder, an instrument of blessing, fashioned to reflect my glory in ways unique to you. Your gifts, your stories, your very breath contribute to the unfolding story of redemption and grace throughout the world. If your heart is stirring with the whisper of destiny, lean into that call courageously. Let not fear silence the song I've placed within you. Intimacy with me is not reserved for the holy or the perfect. It is the invitation extended to your entire being. Just as you are, come close with your hesitations, your triumphs, your questions and doubts. I long for that sacred closeness where soul meets spirit in this sacred space. Restoration flows freely, and you are known more deeply than you can imagine. Let this truth settle in you. Now I am your constant companion, your unfailing friend, and your loving Father who delights in you beyond measure. Beloved, today I call you to stand firm in who you are in me. Let not the uncertainties of life unmoor you from your true identity. You are mine forever and always. Draw from the well of my love daily, and you will find strength to face whatever comes. Walk forward with confidence, clothed not in your own righteousness, but in the righteousness gifted to you through trust and surrender. Your victory is assured, for no power can separate you from the love that I have lavished upon your soul. May the assurance of my presence fill you, sustaining you in every trial, comforting you in every sorrow, and inspiring you in every new dawn. You are the masterpiece of my design, the beloved child I have redeemed with a love that knows no end. Keep this truth vibrant in your heart. You belong to me. And nothing, no shadow of doubt, no burden of guilt, no whisper of fear can sever our bond. Hold fast to this, beloved, and let your spirit soar in the freedom of my love. Will you now take this final step with me? Will you embrace the fullness of your worth and the depth of my love without reservation? I am here, always waiting to pour out upon you peace that transcends understanding and joy that cannot be taken away. Know that as you walk in this truth, you carry my presence with you, lighting the way for others to find their own healing and hope. Amen. If your heart holds this message close, do not hesitate to share it with someone who needs to hear it or save it as a wellspring for difficult days ahead. When you engage with my words, you welcome my presence even more deeply into your life. Let us continue this journey of love together.